Hello everybody and welcome back once again to Let's Play Skyrim. I know what you're going to say. We didn't leave off here last time. What the hell's happened? Berlina? Let's walk. And we shall explain it all. As we did leave off last time, we returned to Markarth after finishing off our exploration over in the Reach. We were in the Silverblood Inn, going to spend our last night before returning to Winterhold. After, of course, sorry about that. Strange lady talking to her dog here, and now she's holding her arms out in a strange fashion. I don't recall seeing that on the Dog Whisperer. Anyhow, so yes, we were planning on going to the abandoned house. Now, I did actually go to the abandoned house. Where's Berlina? Oh, goodness sake. And, I did actually start the session up as normal, recording, and went to the abandoned house, finished off the abandoned house quest, where we went inside, met the priest of Boethia, went down into the depths of the cellar where Morlag Bal's little altar was, a little thing with bobs, the sort of prison that cropped up out of the ground and enslaved us the first time we visited it. And we went down there, and apparently the priest of Boethia was trapped within, and Morlag Bal wanted us to beat him down with a mace. And unfortunately, we had to do it. Elwynn, against his wishes, almost as if he was under some kind of a spell, beat down the priest of Boethia, and then eventually was handed Morlag Bal's mace. It was not pretty. Oh! Hello, Wolf! How the devil are you? There's no battle music. Oh, very odd. Anyway, we should continue. And but you're thinking, where the hell is he going as well? Where are we walking to here? All will become clear. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, so we basically, what happened was, I went down to the cellar, and obviously I was trying to basically nosy the quest, have a bit of a nosy, see what was required to finish the quest, to see if we could somehow go back on our word and double cross Morlag Bal, but it appeared that we couldn't. And because he gave me a quest item, which was a rather heavy and cumbersome mace, we couldn't turn our back on the quest. Who is this? Stendar, Vigilant of Stendar. Yeah, so we had, basically, if you wanted to finish the quest, or ideally Elwynn would have wanted to... I don't want your flaming... Move! Move yourself! I bet you're saying, what the hell? What's happened here? What's all the lightning about? Aha, you see? A few things have changed since last time. I'm trying to get around to saying them, but we seem to be getting blocked off at every turn with bloody encounters. Anyway. Yes, so... I'll get there eventually. So what happened was we tried to turn our back on the... We couldn't turn our back on the Morlag Bal quest after we got into the cellars and saw the priest of Boethia become enslaved. We couldn't free him, we couldn't help him, because if we did, we were going to be left with a quest item in our inventory which we could not get rid of. So unfortunately, I had to do the dirty deed with Elwynn, just purely and simply to remove the mace from my inventory. So basically what I'm saying is, Elwynn did it against his will, as if he was under some kind of influence. He didn't want to kill the priest of Boethia, but he just had to do it. He felt compelled to. So Markarth, unfortunately, was not a good place for Elwynn, because he's committed murder twice now. When I say committed murder, I mean murdering innocent people, intentionally. Not unintentionally, not in self-defense, but actually cold-blooded murder. The first time was to free himself from the prison, and the second time was he was under some kind of a spell. So there we go. Now, yes, I did record that on my usual recording software, but when I ended the session, after about half an hour, because I was going to return to Winterhold to do some rest and recuperation time off camera, I stopped the recording. When I did stop the recording, for some reason it crashed, and the footage was lost. So then, rather than do it all again, I just decided to basically leave it. So Elwynn completed the quest in the abandoned house, returned to the College of Winterhold straight after, and when he returned to the College of Winterhold, his usual business was attended to. Checking in with Tolfdir to see if everything was hunky-dory, making sure there was nothing, nothing amiss. Students hadn't set themselves on fire, hadn't burnt down one of the dormitories, and checked in and then chilled out. Checked in and chilled out. Yes, he spent a day or two, well, more than a day, a couple of days in fact, just resting, recuperating in his quarters. Yes, some glass or two of wine was consumed, of course, as is customary when you're resting and recuperating. There was always some wine involved, and yes, it was a rather relaxing and peaceful time, almost forgetting what it was like to be on the road adventuring, suffering the stresses and strains of loot and being attacked. Is that a bear in the middle of the water? Taking a dip and having a bath? Well, isn't that cute? No, now he's attacking a poor innocent fox. Lunchtime. So, after we had rested and recuperated, of course, what comes after rest and recuperation? Magical practice and study. Of course, Elwynn took the time out to further his magical abilities by practicing with other students, with fellow professors, and some self-taught stuff as well. And he levelled up a few of his schools of magic.
Greetings, brother. You look well.
No, thanks. I don't want that stuff. I don't want any. You keep it to yourself. So we did some magical practice and increased our magical abilities as we usually do when we return. Nothing too drastic, but for all intents and purposes, we got to about level 70 with most of our spell schools, with the exception of destruction and restoration. Everything else is 70. So he did that, and then when he got chatting in the what's the place called, the Hall of Elements, one afternoon with the rest of the tutors in some kind of a staff meeting, as you might like to call it, I think Elwynn became aware that he had practiced enough and became proficient enough to start sampling in some of the higher schools or the higher levels of magic. Oh, dead people. Oh, a bottle of wine. Waste not, want not. Thank you. Yes, so he decided that it was now time. He felt ready to purchase the spell books and start studying for the higher level spells. So as I just stop here briefly, we have now learned, maybe not quite mastered, but we have learned in the illusion school invisibility, pacify and rout. In the restoration school, circle of protection, grand healing, repel undead, turn greater undead. In alteration we have learned detect undead, ebony flesh and paralyze. In the destruction school we have icy spear, incinerate, thunderbolt, wall of flames, wall of frost, wall of storms. And in conjuration we have command Daedra, conjure Dremora Lord, conjure storm Atronach, dread zombie and expel Daedra. So Elwynn has a whole host of new spells to play with, but unfortunately, because he's only level 70, 66 and 67 in these spell schools, he doesn't get the bonus of the expert level perks because you can't unlock them until level 75. So although he has these new and wonderful spells to use, they cost a hell of a lot in magicka points because we don't have the perk that allows us for them to cost 50% less. So what I'm going to do now, while we fight another magic user, I'm going to sample my new Atronach spell, the Storm Atronach. Now of course we have the Flame Atronach, Ignis. We have the Frost Atronach, Glacies. Guys, I look to you again. What shall we call our new friend? A storm Atronach? Send your answers on the comments page. Let me know, what should we call our new summonable friend? I've never seen one yet. And here he is! Do my bidding! And put this woman to sleep. Whoa, there they go. Look at that. Ooh, I like him. It looks pretty nasty. Good stuff. Dwarven dagger? Nah, I don't think so. Nothing major. Come, keep walking. So, yes, that's what we did. And also, we obviously leveled up our main level a couple of times. I think we were level 32 maybe, and we've leveled up to level 34, almost now to level 35. And what I did put my perks in is I put my perks in alteration. I put my perks into Mage Armor, level 3 of 3. It was level 2, it's now level 3 of 3. And also Stability, to increase the duration of my alteration spells. Of course, the alteration spells are that I use mainly is the Mage Armor, is the Ebony Armor, the Ebony Flesh, the Iron Flesh. So having those for a longer duration is definitely extremely handy. And of course, we've also increased the potency. So hopefully we'll have a bit more defensive capabilities now. So that was Elwynn's magical study and practice. Now, of course, studying and practicing for those books will have taken some time. So indeed, many days are spent pondering and reading these tomes. Excuse me. There we go. Thank you. And a spider as well. Quite the affair here. It's like an episode of Wildlife on BBC One. Thank you very much. Oh my good grief! Where did that come from? What in the hell? Yes, a dragon just pops up just for fun. Right, okay. Let's go. Let's dance. I'll get there eventually. I'm looking for my special ability. What is it? I can't remember what it's called. It is quick items. Dragon skin. There we go. Don't shout and scream from up there, you foul being. Come down closer. Let us parley on the floor. I put a whole new. I basically reorganised my quick items, quick spells. I've put a hell of a lot more on, so I'm at. All my new spells are on there. Some of the old ones as well, for mana efficiency. I will be using mainly my old spells. Come on! There we go! Oh! Hello, Bertha! Whoa! You like it? Is it tickling you? Whee! Don't try it, lady. Oh! Oh, it's falling! Whoa, 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 whoa! Wow, that's nice.
Still here. I'm a mage, not a pawnbroker, you know.
Berlina, excuse me, I think it's time for you to carry some items, eh? Just these. Thank you.
Let's get going then.
Indeed, let us. Right, another dragon skeleton littering our path. Right, what was I was in the middle of saying something. I say yes, I picked my perks. We studied lots of books, lots of new spells, so Elwynn spent a lot of his time working hard. And then came the next part of our off-camera affairs. For so long Elwynn has been meaning... Now where's Iverstead? That should give you a little hint as to where I'm going here. Let me see. Iverstead up here, but this is the long way around. I came here the other time and it just took the mick. It wasn't the quickest way to go. There's a shortcut. Yeah, this is a back doorway. There's a way to go up this mountain here. Come, I think I've missed a turning. The dragon attack kind of put me off my stride. I'm not going that way again. It took far too long last time. There is a quicker route. So then came the next part of his affairs off camera, as I was just about to say. So he practiced his new spells, got his perks, and he's ready to go. And then he thought, you know what? I'm finally going to get round to doing this. I've been meaning to do it for so long. I think it's about time I put the time and effort into doing it. So he went into his little cabinet of things that he has stored away, and he took out his iron ore. And then he spoke to Brilina and asked her, because she's carrying them at the moment, to hand him over his filled soul gems, his petty soul gems and his common soul gems and his lesser soul gems, the weaker soul gems. And then he took out some items to sell out of his wardrobe and then headed to Whiterun. Once that Whiterun, he sold some things, a couple of gems to the shopkeeper, some spare weaponry to the blacksmith, and then, whilst at the blacksmith, he decided to sit down and start crafting himself some iron daggers. Purely to give himself some items to practice his alchemy on. He's not going to practice his alchemy on his gold jewellery, he's saving that for his shop, and therefore he had to craft something cheap and cheerful in order to practice his enchanting, finally get round to practicing enchanting, and he started crafting iron daggers. And then once he'd crafted 50 of the blobbing things, which didn't take too long, he headed to Farengar's little enchanting table within Dragon Reach and set himself down for the afternoon, and then basically using the filled soul gems he enchanted the iron daggers, one after another, getting to grips with how it worked, the intricacies of enchanting numerous different enchantments, soul trapping, absorbing health, fortifying this and that, just to get a feel of how it works, and became, as you might have just witnessed, became much more proficient. From level 40 something up to level 68. Still not quite there in terms of Grandmaster Alchemist, Grandmaster Enchanter, but a darn sight improved. And to celebrate, he thought he'd treat himself to an enchantment of his own. Now, he's not quite good enough to enchant his own armour properly, but he did just have a little dabble and a little bit of fun, and the one piece of clothing that he hasn't got enchanted is his gloves. So he enchanted his gloves for a bit of fun. He's called them Elwynn's Winter Warmers, and he enchanted them with the best soul gem that he could find, which was the Grand Soul Gem with the Grand Soul. And at his current level of alchemy, he enchanted it with Fortify Magicka for only 22 points, which is half of the usual enchantment, which is 50 Magicka points for the amulet, and also 50 Magicka points for the circlet. But 22, he's still learning the art of enchantment, but he'll get there. So just a little bit of fun, just to celebrate the work that he'd put into alchemy over the past few days, and Elwynn's Winter Warmers.